up, you beautiful collectors and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Signature Edition Shredder. Version of a Shredder is technically the third version of them, being that colored version and that black and dark blue Loot Crate exclusive. They're the exact same figures, so there's not really a lot different or really different to talk about other than the coloration. Take a look at Shredder again, same basic thing, Signature Edition, except it's not. Got a cool image of him right there. The side here has an up-close image of his head. The other side here, him leaping into battle. Come around to the back of the package. And again, a very nice black and white look for him, which is just super, super cool and literally looks like it jumped off the comics. I love that. And then, of course, you got those same three characters down here, all done in color, so, again, hoping for black and white versions. And then, of course, you got the black and white Foot Ninja down there. But for the packaging on these guys, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get them out here and see how cool they actually are. And here we have the new black and white Signature Edition of Shredder from NECA Toys opened up and out of its packaging. And if you've seen any of my other reviews, specifically of the Mirage Shredder, you basically know what you're getting. This figure and the accessories are identical, except for the coloring. So that being said, in addition to two fisted hands that are currently on him, he also does come with a pair of hands that are designed to hold some of his weapons with kind of like an open palm sort of thing going on there. But again, great detail, much like all of them always do. You have this very white plastic with this kind of black cell shading that's designed to look like a comic book. He also comes with this, I don't even know what this is called, but it's primarily done in a white plastic or white paint as well. But you got a really nice silver paint that's actually on the blade, which does kind of look a little bit different, but because of how shiny it is, it does kind of blend in with the white, but you can definitely see that it's a silver paint. I don't necessarily know how I like that. Just, I mean, it still looks good, but in terms of trying to create a black and white image, this should really be white. Honestly, that's more of a nitpick than anything, but it's worth noting. But you can see the really nice black kind of sketch marks throughout the entire thing. You got a real metal chain and this little handle sort of thing, or maybe he just holds on to that and spins it around. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Something like that. I don't know, but he's got that. And he also does come with a bow and arrow. The bow itself, again, very nice. You got the black sort of scribble marks on there. You have a white string that's very tight. That's actually pretty cool to see. And then you have this arrow with the nice little feather section down here in the back. You have the arrowhead itself. You can kind of see that there's a little bit of a separation there, so you can actually take this, fit that on the string. Maybe if I can line it up. Well, maybe not. No, well, something like that. No, I'm not going to be able to do it because that's tiny. But you're just going to put that right, something there, and then you can bring that back and just go. Oh, holy cow! That went pretty good. So you do have that. Again, all identical. Coming to the figure itself, I do wish they would do something differently about the feet. I feel like I've talked about this before, but when they did the white versions of the Ninja Turtles, there were always images of Shredder and the Foot Soldiers. So this design is still based off of those. And by that I mean we get some toe articulation. I do kind of wish that they would make that go away, just because it actually does make him standing a little less stable, because it's kind of making that piece bend up. I do wish they would redo the feet on him. It's not bad, but I definitely use one of the NECA display stands with this guy. And for comparison, I actually put this guy back in the tray because I am planning on selling him because I prefer this. As you can see, you have that nice black with the blue on there, which is designed to look like him in the shade of night and stuff. So I always did like the way that this one looked, but this is the vision that I always had. So you can see that, again, weapons are identical, figure is identical, it's just the coloration on them. And this is a great figure, it really is. Even this is great. This, to get, you had to go through that Loot Crate sort of fiasco. which was truly one of the most annoying things that any toy company has ever done, and why I really do talk about how NECA really doesn't care about collectors. They act like they do. They don't. But the figure, again, I always talk about this, that the figures they produce are outstanding for the most part. I mean, obviously, black and white Shredder here, gorgeous black around the eye, so it looks very ominous. And then you got all that kind of black cell shading all the way around this guy. He really is a very fun and unique look for the character that really does appear as if he's jumped right off the screen. That looks wicked, wicked cool. All the way around, you got the little loincloth down here. Again, all that stuff is exactly the same with the little softer rubber bits for the shoulders and then the blades themselves. Carrying down here with the arm bits, even with the hand sections. Like I said, the little loincloth is, and then you come down here, and that's also a softer rubber as well. As having an older design, I talked about how he does have the toes. I feel like they could change that. I don't think that they're going to, but all in all, it is a absolutely gorgeous representation of how Shredder looked in the comics. Specifically, when you would open those comics and read them. This guy looks amazing. Now, again, getting him to kind of stand there. Stay. For a comparison, here he is next to that black and white Leonardo that I've had for many, many years. And one thing that I am noticing, and you actually can see it on screen, the age is really starting to show. This is kind of getting a little bit yellow, not so much on the body, but you can kind of see it with the blade. I don't remember if it was always like that. The sheaths here in the back have a little bit of yellowing on it. Even that blade right there, which is not displayed, just kind of yellows. That just might be an over time kind of thing, but you can definitely see how much whiter Shredder is by comparison, but realistically, it still looks great. They both look absolutely incredible and look as if they jumped off the pages of a comic book, which is exactly what I wanted, and why I do hope they take a lot of those other characters like Fugitoid, like Renette, like Casey Jones, like the Utrom, and give them to us in black and white variants. Hell, we're getting San Diego Comic-Con again this year. That's literally 4 figures. And they always do an exclusive 4-figure box set. So, fingers crossed. For Shredder's articulation, again, identical to what it was before. You have a ball joint at the upper part of the neck, but then you also do have a joint right below that that does rotate. That one is really hard to get to be totally honest. So I'm not even going to mess with that one. You get a full range of motion, though, with that upper ball joint. The shoulders do move in and out. This one is definitely fairly stiff, so it only goes out to about there. I don't want to really force it, especially with NECA figures. They move forward, they move back, they rotate at the upper part of the bicep. You have 2 bends here at the elbow, or is that just one? Oh no, that's 2 bends here at the elbow. So that is, again, I don't want to overly force it because this is not a figure that you can easily replace. So I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to overdo that. But you also do have, oh, does this rotate? No, I thought that rotated, but that doesn't. But you do have the wrists that move forward and back also on hinges. So again, you can get a real cool kind of pose where it looks like he's about to box you or something. That's really fun. Come down to the waist, you do have a swivel here. There's no diaphragm cut or anything like that. Again, an older model of the figure. So the limitations are definitely there by comparison to more modern Ninja Turtles. He does have a forward and back and in and out hip section. This does kind of split so you can get a good range of motion with it. He also does rotate at the upper part of the thigh. He does have 2 bends at the knee for a good range of motion. Come down to the boot, and those do both rotate, which is nice. The ankles also do have a hacky sack pose, and then they can move forward and back, and then the toes are articulated. So again, that's fairly stiff, which is good because you're going to want to get a good range of motion with the feet in terms of stability for them, so you can kind of spread them out and get him to see. You can see he wants to kind of topple over just because those feet aren't entirely secure. But all in all, the figure in terms of the looks on him is exemplary. It is exactly what I want all of my Ninja Turtle figures from the Mirage comics to look like. While I appreciate what they are doing in terms of the colorations, and I don't mind supporting them if it's going to give us figures like this, so I'm happy buying, the color versions of Renette, Fugitoid. I do have the Utrom and Casey Jones on the way to me from Big Bad Toy Store. So like I said, I'm okay buying those ones if I know that we're going to get color versions, and I can always sell the color versions down the line. But it is good to see that they are paying attention to what fans want and giving us these guys. He turned out great. He looks amazing. The coloration is really good. The white is very crisp. But like I said, I didn't realize just kind of how dull these guys are. Oh, shit. See what I mean? That kind of thing happens. But I honestly did not realize kind of how dull the white plastic or whatever has gotten on these guys when I compared them to this. I mean, that's definitely noticeable. I could probably honestly clean that up a little bit with my whitening technique that I use with a lot of my white figures and stuff. So maybe I'll give that a try. I'd be worried about the black paint on here. So who knows? If I'm brave, I'll try to do it. But all in all, I really do like the guy. I honestly don't know how you guys are able to find him if you don't go through Walmart's weird Auto T website thing. They are exclusive to Walmart, so realistically, that's the only place that I know that you'll be able to get them or even order them. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. There's my look at the new NECA Toys Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Signature Edition Shredder. Please remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. And as always, this has been Optibotimus saying adios, au revoir, and Auf Wiedersehen.